What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is, excuse me, your review for 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Season 6, Episode 7. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm losing my voice, so we're going to do what we got to do to get through this. So we start this episode off. We have Mike and Natalie. Now, listen. Natalie, look. In this situation, all of them be on that bull hockey sometime, okay? So we start off, they're unloading the wood off of the little dolly, whatever, onto the trailer, whatever, onto the wood pile. Natalie is exercising with the wood while they are unloading the wood, child. And Mike's mom, she makes a comment about being tired or whatever, and Mike was like, well, this was your idea. And she was like, well, I normally don't do it all at one time. And so Natalie was like, well, if you don't normally do it all at one time, what do you normally do? And she said, well, I normally don't do it all at one time, but since y'all are here, and so Natalie made a little smart comment and was like, oh, well, I'm glad I could be your help, right? I'll be honest with you, I probably would have said the same damn thing. Like, if you don't normally do it all at one time, you got me here working for free. But I wouldn't have been mad about it because I'm like, I'm visiting. I wouldn't have said nothing. But I probably would have been thinking it like, ain't nobody want to be carrying all this damn wood. We already had to load it up. And we got to unload it. But anyway, so then the mama gonna make a little smart comment back, talking about you could probably do this around the house, help Mike out a little bit, do this. So now we back to her trying to talk about what Natalie does and doesn't do, child. So anyway, they do this back and forth. So they go in the house. Natalie is making borscht. I've heard of it before. She said it's a traditional Ukrainian dinner. I've heard of it as it relates to Russia. But, the countries are right there together. So they probably have a lot of the same dishes that overlap. So Natalie must have given Mike's mom the list of what she needed. And Mike's mom substituted certain things for other things. Now, she said that they didn't have no celery stalk. And so she had to substitute the celery stalk with something else. Listen, what grocery store did y'all went to that they ain't had no celery stalk? Now, I know this was during COVID, and during COVID, we were having some difficulties with certain items. But, ma'am, who ain't had no celery stalk? And if they didn't, why you couldn't just go to another store? You know good and damn well that another store would have had some damn celery. Anyway, whatever. So Natalie was like, I don't even know what that is. I can't use that. Because, of course, again, there is a language barrier. And so Natalie knows what certain things are. So you trying to, replace it with something else, that might just go over Natalie's head. So Mike comes in there and he's trying to flirt with Natalie and he's, rubbing on her butt or whatever. And Natalie goes off with him. Mike, there's too many people in this kitchen. Can you leave, please? Don't touch me. And then she started talking about something, don't touch me on my woo-woo. And Mike was like, what you talking about? She was like, you always do that. You come in the kitchen and you want to touch me on my woo-woo. And Mike was like, hell yeah, you my wife. I think you sexy. Yeah, I want to touch you on your woo-woo. So now his mama is like, y'all get out of here. Stop playing around. Let Natalie cook. It was a cute little moment. But Natalie, she get her little feelings and she be going left with it. So Mike's mom sent him outside to clean out the fire pit. So while Mike is outside cleaning out the fire pit, Mike's mom said something to Natalie about the stocks that they bought to replace the celery something. She was like, do you need this or are you going to use this? And Natalie said no. So by the time, now I didn't see nothing else. I even rewound it and listened again. I didn't see or hear nothing else. So by the time Mike came back in, Mike was like, Natalie was like, your mother called me a hooker. Mike was like, what? She was like, yeah, your mother called me a hooker. And Mike was like, my mother did not call you a hooker. She was like, yes, she did. She called me a hooker. Now, I don't know what Natalie heard. I don't know what Natalie interpreted. But that woman didn't call Natalie no hooker. I didn't hear it. If y'all heard it, put it in the comments. But I ain't hear it. I know it's a week late. But y'all tell me. I ain't hear it. Mike, you could have ended that whole situation. All you had to do was call your mother in the room and say, Mom, what did you just say to Natalie? Because I think she misunderstood what you said. You don't even have to say, Natalie thought you called her a hooker. You could just be like, I think she misunderstood you. What did you say to her? That's it. That's all. That's it. That is all. That's it. That's all. That's all you had to say. I think she misunderstood you. But instead, Mike wants to say, well, no, she didn't do that. And of course, now Natalie got an attitude because she got an attitude because she think her mother-in-law called her a hooker. She got an attitude because she think her husband don't believe her and won't defend her. So now she's really in her feelings and she's really mad. So Mike's mom has a roommate. His name is Ron. And Ron is having dinner with them. And so Ron comes out and he's trying to be really nice and polite. He's talking to Natalie and, you know, they eat the borscht. And it was good. And he was telling her how good it was and they were enjoying it. And she was like, thank you. You know, I appreciate it. Thank you. So then Natalie's mom. So Natalie, I think Natalie is one of those people that when she gets nervous, she laughs. So she kept laughing every time Mike's mom said something. She just kept laughing because I think that's her defense. Like I had a friend and we were in school and she couldn't read very well. And every time the teacher would call on her to read, her way of dealing with it was like she would laugh and giggle and pretend like she didn't know how, like she would pretend like she was laughing too hard when she got the words she couldn't pronounce rather than let everybody know she could read. And I think Natalie in that moment just kept laughing because I think she was just so uncomfortable that she was just trying to just like, I just laugh my way through this. You know what I'm saying? But again, Mike, you know why she got an attitude. You know why she mad. You know why she in her feelings. Just tell your mom, Natalie, she heard something wrong. She misunderstood something you said. But instead, you are letting this situation continue to fester. And Natalie is really looking like the bad guy in all of this. Because now, Natalie looks like she's being rude and standoffish. Natalie got her faults. But if I thought my mother-in-law called me a hooker, I probably would have an attitude too. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, all three of them be getting on my nerves, child. So now we get to Tiffany. Lord, Tiffany done met up with her daddy. She done told her daddy what's up. She done told him the truth about, she done told him the truth about, I can't get it out. Oh, about the man having a record and, having an illegal record or whatever. And her dad was like, he was taken aback at first, but he was like, you know what, I'll still sign it because, I saw y'all on your wedding day and I want the family. He said, basically he told her, if it wasn't for them kids, I wouldn't do it. But I want y'all to be a family. I want y'all to come together. I know what not being in your life sort of cost me. And so I want us to be together. So later on in the episode, she goes to see an immigration attorney because she was like, he has to get ready for his interview. And I want to get the best advice on how he needs to answer these questions. Because he's got to answer the questions in a way that is going to give him the best chance. I mean, he does have a criminal record, but, it's not major stuff. Like, he ain't murdered nobody, right? So the immigration is, so they Skype him into the meeting. This dude is laying across his couch and he is vaping. Now I understand with the time difference, it's nighttime and it's probably, maybe he had to stay up late or whatever. But dude, like act like you about to go into an important meeting because you're about to go into an important meeting. And the immigration attorney is trying to talk to him. He's not even making eye contact. He's not even looking at the camera. And Tiffany is getting pissed. Like, the longer this goes on, the more irritated she's getting. And she's like, I just don't think he's taking this seriously. I just don't think she understands how serious, he understands how serious this is. And then he made a comment. When she left, she called him in the car. And he was like, yeah, I got it. And then he made a comment that made me, I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. He says, well, if it doesn't work out, you can always just come live here in South Africa with me. And Tiffany was like, I almost feel like he's trying to sabotage this because he wants us to live there, which he don't realize is that I'm not moving to South Africa. She said when she was there visiting him, she didn't feel comfortable, she didn't feel safe, and she didn't want to take her kids into that environment. And so absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I think that's what he's doing too. I think in his mind, if he blows the interview and y'all end up having to that he think you gonna just move to South Africa, but and my thing is those visas are not cheap. Like y'all have spent a lot of money for you to blow it on at this point. Like anyway. So then we have well, I always forget this woman's name. The one that just had the weight loss surgery. Oh Lord, I always forget her name. Angela. Listen, y'all. Now y'all might click this off. Y'all might get mad at me. I might even get some hate comments under this video. But baby, in this scene right here, Angela turned into a whole Karen. She turned into a whole privileged white woman. Did y'all see what I saw? So the doctor said that he wasn't going to do her surgery, the next surgery, because she's still smoking. So Angela is like, oh, I'm just going to go up here and change his mind. I'm going to just use my southern charm to change his mind. I always get what I want. And so she really walks into this man's office and she really has a whole attitude with him. And she is really sitting here like, you are doing too much. Like, I don't see what the big deal is. Like, I promise that I'll stop smoking. What if you do the surgery and I promise to stop smoking? And I love what he said. He was like, didn't you promise to do that after your first surgery? Yet, you're still smoking. So, excuse me if I don't believe you. So then he was like, we're not going to cancel it. We're just going to postpone it. But I need you to not smoke for XYZ amount of days before the surgery and after the surgery. And she was like, well, I mean, why you can't just do the surgery? I don't see what the problem is. And so he went through explaining to her, like, this is an area that, basically how the smoke will affect it. And even if you're smoking before the surgery, how it'll clog up the pores and skin won't be able to breathe the way it needs to breathe. And it could kill her. So basically, this is for your benefit, not his. So then she gonna say, and he said, so we're gonna send you back home. We're gonna let you come back, and we're gonna test you for nicotine. She was like, no, you're not. He said, yes, we are. He was like, she said, no, you don't need to do that. He was like, yes, I do. I was like, what is wrong with her? Then he was like, he had her sign off on a waiver. Because again, he's putting himself in danger. If he does this surgery on her, knowing that she's been smoking or that she's lying to him about smoking, and she ends up dying, like, he's got to cover his ass, because now here come your family is going to want to sue the hell out of him for something that he told you not to do. Right? Because that's the world we live in. That's the litigious society that we live in. Child, then she got indignant because she's going to have to pay $1,500 if she doesn't stop smoking, and he ends up having to cancel the surgery. And then she got an attitude about that. Yes, because you know why? Because potentially the time slot that he's giving you to do your surgery, and then you mess around and don't stop smoking, and the time period that it takes, and he has to cancel it, guess what? He done lost out on money from somebody else that he probably could have done their surgery, and they would have went through it, and he would have got his full money. It's no different than if you schedule a service at a stylist, if you any other service, and you don't show up. Potentially, I could have given that time slot away to somebody else and got paid. So stop acting like this is crazy. But I was sitting here and I was just like, oh, Angela, you got, and I mean, she would try to laugh at a certain point, but you could tell she was serious. Like, she wasn't playing. She really felt some kind of way about it, right? So then she gets in the car and calls Michael, and child, Michael ain't here for it. Michael don't want to hear it, and Michael has been acting real funky. So she got an attitude anyway, because she said, ever since this whole situation with the surgery, Michael don't call me. She was like, we used to talk all day, every day. He don't call no more. He don't text me like he used to. I'm not stupid. I noticed the pattern difference. I'm not crazy. I know that you're not doing the things you used to do, sir. And so he was like, so he was trying to talk to her like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. She ended up hanging up on him. Well, then we go over to Africa. He's in Nigeria. He's not in South Africa. The other guy's in South Africa. He's in Nigeria. So we go over to him, And he go to talk to his aunts. And he tells his aunts, yeah, I do feel some kind of way. I don't appreciate, that she's having all these surgeries. And I did stop calling like I used to. And his aunts are like, so she's having, they be like, well, I think that she's selfish because she's only doing what she wants to do. She don't care about how you feel about it or how that's affecting you. So I feel like she only cares about her and herself and all of this. She don't care nothing about you. And they were like, how much is this surgery costing? Child, he told them $25,000. What he tell them that for? What he tell them $25,000 for? Child. So then they were like, I mean, that's money that they could be putting towards helping her get pregnant to have a baby. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I don't know if they've invented a surgery that's going to help Angela have a baby. I mean, miracles happen, and I know women have had babies at all ages. I get it. But I'm just saying. Especially in the condition that she was in. Listen, I'm a big girl, so I'm not fat shaming nobody. But with the weight on her, the medical issues that she had, I don't know if she would have even been a candidate for in vitro. Like, real talk. Y'all. So they got Michael, they done put a battery in his back talking about some. See, over here, the man is in charge. And, the women are, basically lean into what their men want. But over in America, the women tell men what to do. And we don't like that. That's not how we do things over here. So, of course, now you done put a battery in Michael's back. Y'all can get Michael ass cussed out. She done already pulled the money card on him last week. Y'all can get Michael cussed out. Y'all go on and let Michael call with that battery y'all put in his back. And see what he end up. He's going to be sleeping on y'all couch. Anyway. So then we have Natalie. I'm not Natalie. We have Jovi and Zara. I'm gonna go ahead and Yara. I'm gonna go ahead and get them out the way because this wasn't that remarkable. Jovi has to leave 2 weeks early, so of course Yara's upset by that. And there's also a storm coming through. And Jovi is like, I would feel a lot better if Yara goes to stay with my mom. I know it's not ideal. I know it's not what we want, but at the end of the day, my mom knows how to deal with these storms. First of all, you going down to where my parents live, you're in the bayou, you're not right on the water, it's a little bit further back. Second of all, if the storm does come through and knocks out power and stuff like that, my mom will know how to get you places where you can get power so that you guys will be okay. I really don't want you staying in this apartment by yourself and I'm not here, you don't really know anybody, and the storm comes through. That's actually one of the smartest things Jovi's ever said, okay? I know that's not what she wants and it's not ideal, but baby, you got to do what you got to do. Like, listen, you don't want to be in that apartment by yourself with a newborn baby with no power, no electricity, and don't nobody know you there. I mean, that's just not a good look. So she had to pack up. The baby had to pack up. Jovi had to pack up. Mama was taking Jovi to the airport and then taking her back to the house. And, y'all was like, I just feel like my life has been out of control since I got to America. Nothing has been under my control since I got here. We had COVID. I had to hurry up and get married. But you knew you had to get married, child. But you had the baby. And she's right. Nothing has gone the way they thought it would go, the way they planned it would go. Because as soon as she got here, they had COVID. She got pregnant. It just didn't go right. So I understand where she's coming from. And I do feel her. Y'all get on my nerves sometimes because I think that she's, a little bitchy. But I absolutely understand where she's coming from. So then they get to the airport and they have a whole, lovey-dovey moment. And she's crying. And he's like, don't cry because you're going to get me upset. And I'm going to be sad. And it was a moment. Okay, moving on. Andre and, what's this girl name? I want to call her Brittany, but I know that ain't right because I called her Brittany the last time and I don't think that was right. Is Brittany right? Anyway, Andre and Bethany. Anyway, Andre and his wife, child. So Andre goes to meet with the dad and he was like, listen, I was down to the house. I was doing what I thought y'all told me to do. Chuck them cussed me out and called me all kinds of crazy. But at the end of the day, I need this job for immigration purposes. I got to have this job. I really just want to work with you because nobody else in the family seems to really be trying to give me a fair shot. So I really wish that I could just work with you. So the dad agrees. The dad is like, listen, I would do anything in my power to keep him here because I know if he leaves, my daughter going to leave. And then I ain't going to never see my daughter. I'm not going to be able to see my grandkids, my granddaughter. And so I'm going to do what I have to do to protect and maintain. Okay? Okay. So he agrees that they're going to all work together. So anyway, they end up going out on this boat trip. Listen. Either this was the worst acting in the world on this whole boat trip, or these are the most awkward people I've ever seen in my life. So they get on the boat, and of course, Andre's wife is ready for a fight because her sister then called her husband all kinds of names. And I'm not going to stretch that out, child. They start going back and forth, arguing, and the sister then started cussing at Andre again, calling him names. They done bleeped the names out, so I don't know what the hell she done called them. But whatever the names were, they needed to be bleeped out, okay? So she done called and they done got to fighting. They throwing drinks on each other. The dad is like, stop it. Stop it. We are out here for family. And if y'all can't get along, I will shut down the family business. Because what's more important to me is that we be together as family. I said, if this ain't the worst damn acting I done seen in my life, child. They called me, listen, it was horrible. They get talking about you a spoiled brat. Oh, daddy loves you more than he loves me. Oh, well, go back over there with your rich husband. It was horrible. Anyway, it was awkward and terrible, but neither here nor there, child. Things have definitely gotten worse with Andre and his wife, and, they just gonna have to Bonnie and Clyde this thing, because it just ain't looking good. All right, Aslu and Kalani. Child, Aslu had himself a car accident. He done totaled the car. He was so proud of himself out there driving his Uber and making his little bit of money. Honey, why I say a little bit of money? People make money in Uber. But making his money, and then he done got in this accident. And I understand he's a little shell-shocked by the situation right now. He's a little shell-shocked because, it jolts you. I mean, I was in an accident back in October. Somebody rear-ended me, and all I remember was those headlights running up behind me before they hit me. And I know for a long time I was really, really nervous when I saw cars running up behind me too fast. I would get nervous. So I understand. And, Kalani said that made her think, yeah, I thought I wanted a divorce, but thinking about, the accident could have gone a different way and I would have lost him. And so I love him and I want to make this work. And so they go out and take the kids out to putt-putt and stuff. And he tells her he wants to take her on a romantic weekend. Why she say, I want to take my mama and my sister to babysit? But see, you'll complain that he's not romantic. And you'll complain that he never wants to do anything with you nice. And he never wants to do sexual things with you. But this man said he want to take you on a romantic weekend. And you were like, well, can we bring my sister and my mama? They can help babysit. How about you leave the kids with them for the weekend and they can babysit the whole time and you and your man can go off and have a nice weekend? Like, girl. See, that's the stuff I'm talking about. People be doing too much. People do too much. Anyway. Last but not least, child, we got Julia and Brandon. Julia got a letter. It's not her green card, but it's somewhere in between what she has now and the green card. But it allows her to work and it allows her, it basically gives her a little more of a permanent status. And then the next step is a green card. I don't know if this is something new that they've inserted or if this is just what it's always been. Because I don't know. Okay. But either way, they're happy about it. And the parents are like, listen, let's have a celebration. Like because of COVID, we couldn't really have a wedding that we wanted, for you guys to have. And so now that things are getting a little bit better, why don't we have something for you? And so they're like, no, we don't want to do it. We don't want to do it. We don't want to do it. And so finally they were like, well, we're having a party for your dad's 70th birthday. Maybe we could just incorporate the two. So it won't be for you all, but we can acknowledge you and celebrate you at the party. They don't want to do that either. They finally get the mama down to, well, can we just do a toast? Damn. Can we have a special toast for you? Brandon is like, all right, reluctantly, he's like, fine. Julia is like, I don't trust your mama. No. I don't trust her. I said, damn. Anyway, y'all, that is it. This is ran on long enough. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Talk. Blah, blah, blah. Put it in the comments. Peace.